Welcome in a special Labor Day weekend edition of Corbet's Corner because Boston College football is back, and it's always the best time of the year when Boston College football is playing well. 1-0, they did everything they had to. They showed out. They shut out the defense. Glasses on. Let's lock in. It's a stacked edition here as we begin with Boston College. You get into college football week one. Carnage. I mean, there were left and right, just upsets here, teams underperforming there, and then a stinker of a Saturday night fest between Georgia and Clemson, which we'll dive into. So BC looks perfect in the 51-0 win against the Colgate Red Raiders, or the Colgate Gates, the Colgate toothpaste, whatever have you. Boston College, Phil Dracovic, 3 touchdowns, defense bent but did not break, did not allow a single point. 4 different running backs. Patrick Garwo the second, basically the 4th guy on there. He's a sophomore. He gets in the action with a touchdown. Zay Flowers starts off a pretty exciting Heisman campaign. He's the Biletnikoff watch list guy as he's entering his junior year. He's been exceptional. He's actually a Steve Adazio recruit, held over, and greatly so, under head coach Jeff Hafley. They are only one of 5 teams to post a shutout in their opener. That's pretty impressive. And I wouldn't be shocked if they shut out UMass, who they have on Saturday here at 2:30 p.m., which I can't wait for. I'll be out of town, but I'll be watching it as I head to D.C. and then New York this weekend for the U.S. Open men's final. Also, Boston College tied for 8th in most points on offense in week one with their 51. Again, it's Colgate. I'm trying to keep my hopes down, but I can't. It's one of those. I'm cocky BC guy. I said they were going 11-1. Still believe that. I joked on Twitter that they're going 12-0 now after Clemson looked terrible, albeit against an SEC defense. But now, I mean, they gave Clemson a fight at Death Valley with that same quarterback last year when Trevor Lawrence was out with COVID. Why can't we do it again? We've seen this guy, and he did not look good on the big stage. He's now 1-2 as a starter. I mean, he's faced some good teams, but interesting. So yeah, I mean, BC 11-1. Let's go through the schedule and see teams that upped their stock or lost their stock. Temple, 61-14 loss to Rutgers. Yeah, that's a dub. Mizzou, guys, are we going to this? Mizzou squeaks by Central Michigan, doesn't cover. They've got Kentucky this week. That's going to be a tough test. Kentucky looked good in their opener as they rolled their lesser opponent. Let's talk about Clemson. The defense looks legit, obviously. Georgia's defense looks great. JT Daniels did not. I can't even say his name. Ungagale did not look good. He's now 1-2 as a starter. 1-0 against Boston College last year. Just barely come from behind win. Lost at Notre Dame and now loses this one. So let's see. Clemson's going to rebound with some cupcake. And let's hope that Boston College, at least things are going to be more interesting, right? You're going to have to at least give me that if BC walks in up 4-0 undefeated at Death Valley, and all of a sudden they look good while doing so. That's going to be exciting. NC State looked good. That's the team coming off a bye after Clemson. We'll see you tomorrow about Louisville. Syracuse had a surprise win at Ohio. So interesting there. That's a road game at Syracuse, but that's one BC should definitely win. Virginia Tech obviously upsets North Carolina. They look good. The reason I'm optimistic, but Virginia Tech's probably been the biggest rival of BC the last 20 years. Reason I'm optimistic is because that is a home game. Georgia Tech, I keep hearing, it's the end of the triple option. Georgia Tech's going to be raw this year. They lost outright to Northern Illinois, who didn't win a single game last year. Georgia Tech does not scare me, even though that's on the road. That's ridiculous. We'll see tonight about FSU. I believe Notre Dame's already starting to steamroll them, and then Wake Forest looked fine. That's going to be the season finale. Tell me there's not 11-1 in there. Tell me, come on. I'm sticking to that prediction. Let's talk about college football overall. Wisconsin looked awful. Quarterback did not look good. Just a Big Ten defensive blah. Penn State gets the win, upsets them, but it's Wisconsin. It's going to be interesting to see where they end up this season. Michigan, I tried to fade them this year. They look solid. They destroyed Western Michigan. They've got Washington this week in one of the more interesting matchups because Washington lost to an FCS school in Montana. Ugly game. They were a top 20 opponent. The AP always messes up rankings here every single year. So again, Washington, Michigan looks solid. They're a short favorite at home. That's very interesting to me. So Mizzou, Kentucky's a game I'm going to be keeping a close eye on to see how Mizzou will look, kind of get a better look at what the team's all about before they head to Chestnut Hill. How about Miami, Bama? Miami lays a stinker. Their fans are super upset with Manny Diaz, with completely just a lot of high expectation years ending with blunder, as they Alabama always has high expectations and they prove on it. Their new quarterback looks great, right? Young, broke records. They finally have like a legitimate air attack now with Tua, Mac Jones. Now they started, before it was like, John David Booty at quarterback and AJ McCarron. Now they've got some quarterbacks and some wide receivers in addition to their Derrick Henrys and Mark Ingrams and long lineage of running backs. So Miami did not look good, and now they come home against App State. All right, prove it, Manny Diaz. Let's see it. NC State is facing Mississippi State. Mississippi State, under the coaching of Mike Leach, almost lost at home to Louisiana Tech in week 1. They escaped by 1 point, and now they've got a tough ACC team coming in. Texas is interesting this year. Steve Sarkisian, year 1, they were a trendy pick against this week against a tough ULL team that Texas was able to get the cover at home. They win. Arkansas just barely squeaks by their large cover against Rice. Texas a short favorite at Arkansas. Future SEC conference game for now. It's non-conference. Maybe give Texas a look there. We'll see. It could be a momentous win for Arkansas at home too as well. So that's an interesting game I'm going to keep an eye on, as is Iowa, the battle for it. Iowa State gets the home game. Iowa absolutely stomped Indiana. Stomped was probably the word I was going for there. I was on Indiana. That was stupid. And Iowa looks good. Iowa State, I've told you, I don't like, and they did not look good as a top 10 team against an FCS school. They barely beat Northern Iowa. I guess that was also the battle for Iowa. So Iowa State looked rough. Iowa is a 3.5-point dog on the road. I'm about to eat that up. Nebraska, what was funny was the tweet that emerged from some of their beat writers saying that Fordham and Nebraska looked like the same team in the first quarter after Nebraska lost to Illinois. They did figure it out. They did get the large cover over Fordham at home, 52-7. Adrian Martinez was able to tear up Fordham. Good for him. They've got Buffalo this week, who I think put up the most points in the NCAA so far in their opener. Buffalo -12 in Lincoln. That's Nebraska -12 in Lincoln. Buffalo a dog. I'm going to keep my eye on that one. How about this one? Wyoming. They barely escape an FCS school. Montana State. They were almost about to start the year with a blemish. So Wyoming barely escapes. Northern Illinois mentioned that they upset Georgia Tech. Wyoming's favored at Northern Illinois. A little bit fishy to me. And lastly, how about former Boston College quarterback Anthony Brown? Basically lost out his job to Phil Jurkovec. He transferred once Hafley came in. He ends up as the starter in Oregon. Good for him. He kind of worked his way up and used Boston College's leapfrog program, but Oregon did not look good against Fresno State. Anthony Brown did have a nice run at the end, but he has nice numbers, but he just doesn't get it done all the time. I feel like, at least that was my feeling towards him when he was wearing maroon and gold. And now Oregon gets a test against Ohio State, who beat Minnesota by 2 touchdowns. Ohio State only -10 at home. Is this going to be another push? Are they going to beat Oregon by 10? Looking at the 2 teams I saw in their game ones, I would think Ohio State is at least 3 touchdowns better than Oregon, but we'll see. To the U.S. Open, where I'll be heading for the men's final. Super excited about that. I hope it's going to be Djokovic. I think there's going to be maybe Djokovic Medvedev is what it's setting up to be. Tsitsipas goes down to the 18-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, who I believe is going right now. He's at risk of being bounced. Naomi Osaka gets bounced by Leylah Fernandez, the 18-year-old Canadian. She is a great story. She comes from behind to stun Naomi Osaka, and now she also upsets another former champ in the next round. So she continues to move on. She's been a great story. Barty, the number 1 seed for the women, goes down. That's unfortunate. Djokovic, the number 1 for the men, still rolling, setting up a possible rematch with Berrettini, who's with whom he's squared up against in Wimbledon in the final. This would be, I believe, in the quarterfinals if those two end up matching up, which it looks like they're appeared to do so. And then lastly, how about Naomi Osaka again breaking down after the loss? And I just feel bad for her. It's so much pressure. She's only 23 years old. After she won this very major U.S. Open in 2019, all the pressure caused her to have depression. And it's just, she was saying in the post presser, which she does not want to do. She's breaking down, fighting through it. She says, no, I want to stay. Very awkward stuff. And I just feel bad for her. As she says, she again leaves her return to tennis ambiguous, saying she wants to step away. She says it feels more like relief when she wins and then feels like utter pain and letdown when she loses. And winning should be fun. It shouldn't be like, okay, thank goodness I don't feel this pain. So I just really feel bad for one of the most talented athletes we've seen, and still such a young woman. So Osaka bounced and still struggling with her mental health. We hope the best for her and hope that she does eventually return to tennis when she's fit to do so. Patrick Cantlay takes home the FedEx Cup. I'm still holding out hope I can be a golfer, right? Because get a load at what he won today, $15 million. Second place was John Rahm. He and him were battling it out all weekend. Cantlay went wire to wire. They were playing essentially for $10 million because Rahm finished second and he got $5 million. Wow. Yeah, get those kids out on the golf course, if you know what I'm saying. This is the lucrative sport. PGA wraps up a 50-event season, a super season, after the COVID pandemic, even though we're still pretty much in it, right? Fun season. Cantlay wraps it up with 5 wins and the FedEx Cup crown. What's not fun? The Cardinals. They blow up again. Bullpen is in utter shambles. Brewers, we're about to walk out with a 2 out of 3 series win against the division-leading Brew Crew. Bullpen comes in. Cabrera, shaky. Gallegos, yikes. Reyes gives up the grand slam right down the middle to Dan Vogelbach. It was a 3-run home run against Pittsburgh to lose. Now a grand slam to lose. This is reminding me of Trevor Rosenthal from 3 to 5 years ago, blowing everything. We just find ways to lose. These blown saves are going to be the reason the Cardinals missed the playoffs as we do. It's a miracle we're still playing meaningful baseball, which makes these hurt so even much more. Alex Reyes was electric until the All-Star break. His last 8 save opportunities, he's blown 4 of them. It's been a tough downfall here in the second half, and I feel for him, but oh my God, it's making me lose my hair. Very frustrating got to be for Adam Wainwright, who I'm telling you right now, he's going to get Cy Young votes. You got to put him in the top 5, and glasses are on. You know how it is. Here come the stats. He's been great. 14-7, second in wins. He's got 3 complete games this year. Uncle Charlie, 7th in ERA, 8th in WHIP. It's going to be Walker Buehler's award to lose. I'm aware of that, but you got to love what he's doing. He's at least going to get some votes. I would put Scherzer ahead of him right now. Burns and Woodruff, I think, are the 2 Brewers guys. Electric strikeouts, low ERA, even though the wins aren't there. That's fine. They're probably ahead of Waino. I'd put Kevin Gossman right there with him right now for that kind of tied for 5th spot. Wainwright having a hell of a year. Cardinals, again, just playing 500 baseball, tearing my heart apart. A heartbreaker today against the Brewers. Unbelievable. I'm running out of words for this team. Tough. Hope you enjoyed your Labor Day weekend. We're back with Winging It and some exciting content for week 2, core bets for college football, the start of NFL football. And I'm hopefully going to bring some cool stuff from the U.S. Open on Sunday at the men's final. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the week ahead. Hope you are as well. We'll talk to you then.